Let's get real. If you're trying to be all things to all people, it's not going to work. You're setting yourself up for failure. Leadership isn't about being a superhero, it's about being effective. And leaders who refuse to set boundaries, well, they just don't burn out. They become the bottleneck for their teams. If you don't protect your energy, no one else will. I coached an amazing leader who finally got to the role she had always wanted. She got there by working long, hard hours, by volunteering for projects and helping at every chance she got. She took great pride in her contributions and being the one that stepped up every time. In her new, bigger role, all of those habits continued. She took every meeting, she solved every problem, and made herself available 24/7. She thought she was being a great leader, a servant leader, something she had always aimed to be, always there for others. But before she knew it, she was running on fumes. Her helping, it wasn't helping her or her organization, at least not in any sustainable way. Here's what was really going on. Her team, they relied on her for everything. Decisions, lifting a finger, all of that stuff. All of their action slowed to a crawl. She literally had zero time for any big picture thinking. She wasn't leading, she was drowning. Now, the worst part was no one had asked her to take on that burden. She just assumed that's what good leaders do. Why? Because deep down, she had a story she was telling herself, things like, if I don't do it, no one will. People will think I'm lazy. I have to prove my worth by always being available. If I say no, I'll let people down. Now, these weren't just beliefs. They were traps. Mind traps that kept her overworked, exhausted, and ineffective. One day, she just couldn't do it anymore. Despite what she wanted to do, her body said otherwise. She found herself homesick for the first time ever. It was the wake-up call she needed. She hadn't been paying attention to the impact her drive had on her overall well-being. She started having to say no. She decided to set office hours to heal instead of being available on demand. She delegated decisions instead of approving every little thing. And guess what? Her team stepped up. They made decisions, they solved problems, they actually thrived without her hovering over them. And through that, she didn't just regain her health or her sanity. She got both of those. But she really became a much better leader in the process. A leader that multiplied the impact of others. Being available 24/7 isn't a badge of honor. That's what the best leaders know. They know that their job isn't to do it all. It's to empower others. And that means setting boundaries, prioritizing what truly matters, and trusting your team to step up. You can't pour into others if your own cup is empty. When you stop trying to be everything, you actually become more effective. Here's your wake-up call. If you're constantly exhausted, overcommitted, and stretched too thin, it's not because you're indispensable. It's because you're not leading effectively. Your team doesn't need a martyr. They need a leader who knows when it's time to step in and know when it's time to step back. Protect your time, protect your energy, because the strongest leaders aren't the ones who do it all. They're the ones who make sure everything gets done without sacrificing themselves in the process. Leadership isn't about suffering. It's about multiplying impact. And you can't do that if you're running on empty.